Hi there, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor. And I thought I would show you a finished quilt, baby quilt. If you remember, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, I showed you the little Cowgirl quilt. And I have since, all this time, been hand quilting it. And don't ever hand quilt a baby gift that is for someone else. It takes way too much time, and I really, boy, did I cut it close. I had to finish the quilting, and then yesterday I cut out the binding and put it on this morning, and it went on beautifully. And I put it on the back and turned it over and sewed it on the machine and saved myself all that time of trying to do it today by hand, which I always put my binding on by hand. But I want to show it to you. I've laundered it, and I'm very proud of it and pleased to give it to my customer in the morning at 10 o'clock. And I just, when I got through this morning, I just couldn't thank the Lord enough for helping me get it done and chastising myself for cutting it so close. But anyway, and these are not your conventional, I guess, baby quilt colors, but this is what my customer, she purchased the red fabric with the little cowgirl riding the horse, and the back is all that fabric. And she loved it, and that's what she wanted it. And I think she bought it in I wish I could remember the name of it. I'd give them a plug. So-and-so, maybe, I don't know, but it was in Oklahoma. And very, very good fabric. Oh, it's very thick. It is top-notch. And I had these colors. I did have to go buy this, but and like I said in my videos when I made this part, this is very unconventional in a way for a baby quilt. But as I was trying out different fabrics in the fabric shop, quilt shop, and this fabric just spoke to me, and I just had to have it. And I think it works really, really well. And I used it as the binding. I had just enough to use it on the binding. Now I want to show you up close and personal on the quilting. If you can see, maybe on the red piece here, or the tan. This is like a lasso. I did it in pretty big stitches, and I love the effect of it. It just goes with the quilt perfect, and I love the quilting, and that's why I wanted to do this by hand, because that's the only way you can really accomplish that. And it's just as pretty on the back side. All of the stitching. So I'm not going to turn it over, but anyway, the hand quilting just set it off, and it's what it needed. And now I want to show you. I stitched the binding on, like I said, I sewed it to the back. And I used a decorative stitch, which you'll never be able to see because I used thread that blended so well with this fabric. But I did a decorative stitch, and it just caught the edge of the red. It was just kind of a little wavy line, and it just barely catches the edge of it. Well, then when I turned it over, I noticed that it was, you know, leaving too much right here on the edge, and I didn't like that. So I went and just did a straight stitch all the way down, and that shows right there, and it's fine. It's part of the decoration of the quilt. So this will never come apart. This binding is on there forever and ever. It's on there for good. So that's the way. I usually never do that because you can't get it matched good on the back. But with this, I used red thread on the back in the bobbin, and it just worked fine. If you tried to do a straight stitch though, it wouldn't work. But a decorative stitch that goes every which way, it works really, really good. So that's my little cowgirl quilt. And the little girl was born last week, and she's a week old, and her name is such a pretty little name, and I embroidered it on the quilt. Addison Marie, and put her birth date on there. And I did this just in a back stitch, embroidery stitch, and I did not catch the backing. I just caught the batting, and therefore it doesn't show on the back all of the stitching. That's the only way to do it when you do, you know, embroidery. And I didn't use a hoop. I just held it in my hand and did it just like I was writing. Well, I wrote it out first with the friction pen, and then I embroidered it, because your friction pen just irons right off. So I haven't ever done one like that. I wished I'd have done my great-grand kiddos like that, but the customer requested it, and now I know how to do it. First time I did it with 3 strands of embroidery thread, and it was way too thick, and it would have rubbed that little baby raw. And I took it out, and it took me 2 hours to take it all out. But live and learn, that's how we learn, isn't it? So I used 1 strand of embroidery thread and just did a back stitch. And you can research that and see what a back stitch is. So that's 1 down, and I don't know how many more to go. I have my Christmas quilt now that I took. Well, that's another story. You'll have to watch to see about my Christmas quilt that's for my dining room table. That's all I got to do is cut it down. I've got it quilted and put the binding on it, and it's done. All the time, I only do a video once a week, and I'm not twiddling my thumbs in between. I'm working really, really hard, but it's all I can do to just do 1 video a week. I wished I could do more for you, but it's just not possible. If I was 20 years younger, I probably could do it, but. So anyway, there she is, the Cowgirl baby quilt. Thank you for watching me, and God bless.